Hey y'all, welcome to Come in My Kitchen. I just got back from the grocery store downtown. As you can see, I use my own bag because I'm considerate and I'm not an asshole. And you shouldn't be one either. Alright, welcome to my kitchen. It's not much of a kitchen. It's more like a kitsch. It's missing the hen. Yeah, my kitchen is not large. I don't have lots of counter space. But that does not mean that I can't make wonderful things. And that's what we're going to do today, alright? And this is my first episode of showing y'all me cooking in my kitchen. It's kind of nervous because I usually don't like people watching me when I'm cooking. But I've had a lot of people say that they like what I make and they want to see how I make it. So, boom, here we go. So, the first thing I do when I'm in the kitchen is, besides put on my apron to protect my body. Yeah, so the first thing I like to do is open a window, because I have a very small kitchen and it gets smoky very quickly. Welcome to my kitchen. So on today's episode, we're going to be making my version of a devil's food cake. Alright? Chocolate cake on the inside, but with white buttercream frosting on the outside. A little bit of a surprise, because I don't know if anybody likes surprises. I don't. I like to know what I'm getting myself into. And this is a cake where you can fool many people into thinking that it's one thing, but it's actually something else. Isn't that like most people nowadays? Two-faced. Anyway, speaking of two-faced, this cake will be 2 layers. We're going to take all of the dry ingredients and we're going to put them in this bowl. So I got my flour. I'm going to put my cocoa, my sugar, and baking. Sugar, baking soda, salt, and don't forget the espresso powder. Whisk and whisk it all together. So, if anybody wants to know why I started baking, it's because I have a KitchenAid mixer that I got for Christmas. And I said, why don't I just utilize my Christmas gift to the best of my abilities? See, we are making this cake from scratch. No mix, bitch. No cake mix, okay? This is what it looks like so far. Basically, we're mixing our wet ingredients together. I poured in my vegetable oil. Alright. Put in my eggs. Lock it. Extract. Okay, so I've made my wet batter. It'll look like this. It'll be thin. This will be a thin battered cake. You're used to some kind of thickness. Don't try to add anything else to it, trying to thicken it up. It's not gonna do that. Now it tells me to mix the wet into here. Why is my water brown? Because I had the cocoa in there. Okay, it's not dirty water. Get over it. It's all gonna mix together. Mix it together a little bit in this bowl. I pour the rest of it back in here. A lot of mixing. See how it's dripping off the paddle? It's really good. Grease your pans before you put batter in there. I'll use my spray, put down my papers. This helps the cake release. Last time I made this cake, I had it with 3 layers, but they were very thin. So I thought that my batter was too thin the way I saw it. I thought I could spread it out more, but do it 2 layers. Now I'm gonna pour the batter into the pan. The little method I have whenever I'm scraping the bowl, I scrape the bowl from each side so that it meets in the middle. And that way you have a more consistent pour. The recipe says 23 to 26 minutes, but my oven, it gets really hot. I thought I had the oven on. I guess I didn't. I'm gonna wait a little bit. So now I'm gonna put my cakes in the oven. Set my timer for 20 minutes.
Okay, 20 minutes and counting.
So while my cake is in the oven baking, I'm going to make the buttercream frosting for the cake. Now you want to put your butter and your shortening in the mixer. Butter. I've been letting it sit out at room temperature for a couple hours. Shortening. Here's my frosting. It's way thicker than I want it to be. So I'm probably going to add a little bit more heavy cream to it. You're supposed to cut your cake to make it even, but I'm not used to cutting the cake. It looks pretty flat to me on the top, especially when it gets all over my hand anyway, so whatever. And slap the frosting on top. That's how you do it. Slap it. You slap it. Drew, come here and come cut the cake with me. How do I cut this cake with all of these chips? First slice. Ooh, look at that. Baby, look at that. You're gonna eat the fuck out of this cake. I'm gonna lay it like this. And look at the height of the cake. Here you go. The cake for you. Good. Yeah. I decided to reformat my show. I enjoy having a talk show. I enjoy sitting on my couch. But I just wanted to be a little bit more productive and show you all some other things that I'm capable of doing. I understand that imitation is the greatest form of flattery, but I don't really appreciate it. I feel like being an individual is the greatest thing that somebody can be. And don't try to be something that anybody else is. I grew up wearing uniforms in school, and it sucked. And we only had a few colors that we could wear. And they were white, light blue, khaki, dark blue, and black. Thank God you could wear black. Black is one of my favorite colors, if you didn't know. So one day I'm at the bus stop, and this girl walks up too, and she's dressed very much like me. And she's like, "Hey, do you like what I have on? I copied you." And I was like, and I said nothing. And I looked at her, and I walked away. I walked to the next bus stop, a bus that would catch me maybe a few minutes later than the one that I would get on, because I did not know how to respond or react to someone copying me. I said nothing. I turned around and I walked away. In most cases, that's just what I do when I don't know, when I don't have a response for anything. I just don't respond. So, with that story being said, just be yourself. Alright, thank you for watching Come in My Kitchen. I'll see you soon.